Kelsey. I work for the University Programming Board, or better known as UPB, at Edinburgh University. Thank you so much for tuning in to our YouTube DIY this week. And today we're going to make this really cute string art with mountains and a sun. If you want to learn how to make this, please continue watching and have fun. For this event, you will need a pair of scissors, your wooden board with your nails, your yellow embroidery floss for your sun, and then 3 colors of your choice for the mountain. And then this is optional, but I'm going to be using Scotch tape to tape the ends around the nails for when we are wrapping the yarn around them. Okay, so your first step into making your picture is you're going to want to just take some embroidery floss. Doesn't matter how much. I have about like an arm's width. Take my scissors. They're gonna cut. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of tape. And this much. I'm gonna cut it in half again. So I get just a little bit. I'm gonna tape it around the very end of the string. I'm gonna start at this very bottom nail. You can start anywhere you want, but I'm starting at the bottom. I'm just gonna take that string and wrap the tape around the nail, like so. And I'm gonna take my string and I'm gonna wrap it a couple times around that first nail just to hold the tape in place. And we're just using the tape to make sure that your string does not unravel during this process. It doesn't matter how many times you wrap your yarn around this first nail, but just enough to where that tape won't come off. Now the next step will be to wrap your yarn around the nail. It can be in any direction that you want, any way. You can wrap it around as many times, but you can wrap it around directly across from the nail, to the side of the nail, to the corner. It doesn't matter. You can wrap it around any way. The more you wrap it, the more it's gonna have like the filled in look, and then the less you wrap it, the less of the filled in look that you're going to get. See, I'm just wrapping it. Nothing too particular, nothing specific, just kind of just wrapping it around. You might have to like push the yarn down on the nail to make sure it all stays. Alright, now I think mine is done. So what you're gonna do now, when you're done with your string, you're just gonna find the nail that has like the least amount of string on it. You can just wrap it around a few times. Nothing too tricky. Wrap it. And you're gonna wanna cut the majority of your string off, but leave like a good enough tail. And then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna tuck your tail under one of the loops. Whatever loop that you can find, doesn't have to be perfect. And you can just wrap it under a couple times and then cut it, and you should be good to go. One of the optional things that you can do too is if you have clear glue, or tacky glue or any kind of like hot glue. You could also use that to glue down your ends, but I don't have that and it's not optional. Okay, now that I'm done, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it. And then there is the sun. Now we are going to move on to our first tree. I'm gonna start with this one here on the left. I'm gonna do these grouping of nails right here. You can take whatever color floss you want, it does not matter. And you're gonna wanna probably double the amount of yarn that you had with the yellow. It depends on how much you'll be using, how, like if you want it more sparse or if you want it, like the yarn to be more there. You're gonna cut it. And then you're going to start the pine tree the same way that we started the sun. You're gonna wanna take your little piece of tape and just tape it around the nail. And then wrap your yarn around that piece of tape to hold it in place. I'm gonna start at this bottom left one. You don't have to start there, that's just where I'm starting. I'm gonna wrap it around, and then I'm gonna take my floss, and I'm just gonna wrap it around a couple times to make sure that the tape is in place. And then I'm gonna start wrapping my string. Like I said, there isn't any specific pattern or a specific way. You can do it however you'd like. Sometimes it's a little tricky to get the yarn right underneath of the head of the nail, which is okay. And if it doesn't work for you, you can just go to another peg, just like I did. That one that we had the tape on is giving me problems, which is not that big of a deal. And you just wanna keep wrapping. No particular order. Do whatever you'd like. I'm just kind of making my way around in a circle. I think mine is coming to the end here. I'm just going to do my final little wrap. And then I'm just going to tuck the string under. And then we're going to start the new one, our next little tree. Like I said earlier, you don't need to tuck it anyway, as long as you get it tucked under. You might have to wet your string just a little bit to make the ends appear more together, not so sparse out. You'll be able to maneuver it under the other pieces. And when you feel like you have it tightened enough, go ahead and cut off that tail. And then there's your tree. And then we're gonna start on the next one. All right, now you can go ahead and get your second color, any choice. I chose this light green color. And I'm gonna start at this middle peg for the tape part. You can start at any peg you want. I'm just gonna start at this middle one. I'm just gonna wrap my string around just a few times. Just give me a little tug. And then it's the same thing. You're just gonna wanna wrap your yarn around your pegs. And then for this tree, you can use this bottom right one on the pink. It's not that big of a deal. You're not really gonna see the pink through it, but that's just the other corner of the tree. Now you can wrap it in any way. Oh, sometimes it'll come undone, but you can just go right back and re-wrap it around. Make sure you push your string down on the nail. This activity is pretty self-explanatory. It's not super hard, so I'm gonna repeat myself a lot just to make sure that everybody has the basic idea. And if you're ever confused on any part, you could always go back in the video and re-watch some of the steps that I was doing if you get confused or if you get lost. Alright, so I think I'm almost done with this tree. Just a final little wraps. And this is what mine looks like. And now I'm just gonna cut the string a little shorter, so that way I can wrap around the excess underneath. Like I said before, you can do it any way. I'm just finding random strings. Just wrapping them underneath. Have one, it could come in handy. Cut my excess. And then we're gonna move on to our last tree. This pink color. I'm just gonna get my floss on. And then I'm gonna start wrapping my string. And then you're gonna go ahead and start wrapping again. And you're gonna be using this bottom tag of the other tray for the bottom of your last tray. You're just gonna wrap your yarn around again, so make sure you cut off your little tail. And then you can just tuck it over however you'd like. Yours should look something similar to mine. If it doesn't, that's okay. Everyone's piece of art is going to be different. Alright, that concludes the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed making your string art. Please make sure to subscribe, like, share our video, send it to all your friends. And we have many more events coming up, so make sure you follow us on social media. And thank you for coming.